This play is part of LA Theatre Works Relativity Series of science-themed plays. Lead funding for the Relativity Series is provided by the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, bridging science and the arts in the modern world.
This is LA Theatre Works. I'm Susan Loewenberg.
Now, LA Theatre Works continues with What You Are Now by Sam Chance, directed by Lyse Erikson, starring Carie Kawa, Tess, Lina, Joe No, Samantha Quan, Mark Jude Sullivan, and Greg Watanabe.
2012. Pia is in her office.
Box is right over there. Sorry, gotta stay on this deadline.
Yeah, no problem. What are you working on? Another grant application?
Yep.
I know, sometimes it feels like you got a doctorate just so you could go begging for money from other people's labs. Believe me, we have all been there. I mean, I know it doesn't always seem like it, but this is actually a really great situation, this postdoc.
You would have killed yourself if you'd landed here.
That's not true. And besides, it's not like you wound up here because you had no options. You chose to be here. I know, for good reasons, but you did make a decision. So, I'm sorry again about telling Siobhan to stop by, but she said you weren't responding to her?
Yeah, well, I'm not a good communicator.
Soaps.
I know we're trying to be cool and all about this whole thing, but can you not call me that?
I'm supposed to suddenly act formal and fake with you?
Yeah, that's what people do when they break up.
You were never able to trust me. All those years of being together, and you still could never...
Oh my God, stop. This isn't about that. I just don't like being interrupted when I'm working, okay?
Hint taken.
That was more than a hint.
Right, it was more than a hint. So you're gonna ask your mom to call Siobhan?
You know my mom is not like your mom or dad. She's never going to talk about it.
I thought you wanted to help her.
Yeah. What do you think I've been trying to do the last 10 years?
Literally changing her memories is not the only way to go about helping her. And let's be honest, it's sort of a not immediate solution.
Of course, it's going to take some time.
Yeah, it's not just gonna take some time. This stuff is... No matter how exciting all the possibilities are, we're not even close to living that far in the future. And it's not like you're in some situation where you can fast-track the research. Yeah, we can get rats to forget a simple fear memory, but people's fear memories are way more complicated than hear tone, receive shock.
Yeah, I know that.
No matter how much we're learning, how much we've been learning, all of this is still years and years away from having any practical applications. And you know that, right? I mean, of course you do, but... Sometimes I don't know. I mean, do you? But about your mom, don't you think it would be good for her to talk about what she's been through and have it recognized? My dad said
Oh my God, of course. Your dad said something.
You know as well as I do that talking about a trauma can help. It's a non-invasive, drug-free way to give her some treatment. Maybe it's not some fantasy procedure that can specifically isolate and disarm each and every one of the countless, intricate, interconnected fear memories she has from that time. But until we get to that fantasy place that we are clearly not at yet, and will not be for a long time, if ever, maybe you can help your mom in other ways. And yeah, I did. I talked to my dad about this because... My dad and I talk. Because I'm an asshole who has a good relationship with his parents.
Fear has been with us from the beginning.
Mom? Why are you in here with the lights out?
Every animal with a central nervous system can become afraid and create a memory of it.
Mom!
Learn to fear. Normal fear exists in two forms. Both forms can become deranged.
Pia! Hello? You still there?
2012. Pia and Darany are mid-phone call.
Yeah, I'm here. How can you trust Siobhan after what happened?
She's not the one who made those laws, P. My name was on that list already. It would have come up eventually whether I applied for that job or not.
But she just cut you off.
Yeah, 'cause she freaked out. I don't know I wouldn't have done the same in her shoes. Look, it's not about Siobhan anyway. It's about Mom. Could be good for her to do it. She could use some therapy or whatever.
You're the one who always said she was fine, that I was assuming she needed help when she didn't.
Pia, that was a long time ago. It is possible to change the way you think about something. Isn't that what you fucking study? Plasticity of the brain and shit? Look, just talk to her.
When have I ever been able to talk to Mom?
Mom, you're home early? Are you hungry? I'll make you a snack.
She doesn't even see me, Darany. She never has.
You're early. I said you're early.
What?
Still 2012. Pia enters the kitchen. Chantrea is finishing dinner prep. Siobhan is at the table.
You're early for dinner. Your friend dropped by.
What are you doing here, Siobhan?
You told me to ask her myself, so I did.
You're very persistent.
But not successful. I should be going.
So, Pia, you were also persistent trying to talk to her back then. Also not successful. I remember you calling, emailing. You even went to that agency.
Darany kept begging me to track you down. For weeks. For months. You disappeared.
It was a terrible time. And I was a pretty terrible 24-year-old. I freaked out. It was wrong of me. I'm not proud of it. But that was 10 years ago, you know, before moving to California, finding KTA, starting a family. It was another lifetime.
It's the same one for us. Same life. Still going.
You're right. I'm sorry.
I mean, you're basically this white girl from Yale. Of course you wouldn't get it.
Pia, you know my mom's...
When did she come over? To the U.S., I mean. She was out before, wasn't she? She didn't come here as a refugee. She came over as, what, the wife of an East Asian studies professor?
My mother is not just someone's wife. She was a professor herself.
So they met studying in Paris or some shit.
I know she wasn't there herself in 75, but a lot of her friends and family, most of them were killed. It's not like I don't have a connection to it just because...
Sure you have a connection, but not with someone who came here after watching their family murdered, with no money, not speaking the language, to a foreign country. You have no idea what that's like.
I know what it's like.
You don't live with it the way we do. You didn't grow up with it the way... You grew up in some normal home with Thursday night family dinners or whatever. You weren't born with this fucking imprint seared into your cells, and no matter what you do, you can never get rid of it. That's who you are and who you'll always be.
Pia, dinner's ready. Set the table. Have a good rest of your visit, Siobhan.
I know it's been a struggle for Darany, but it's pretty amazing, everything he's doing. He's been building a life for himself out there, you know? He's got a community, a new job. He sounds more optimistic than I've heard him sound in years. It's messed up that he had to go, but he's there and he's making it work. I don't know everything you've been doing the last 10 years. Amazing things, I'm sure, since you're a genius. I was always so intimidated by you. But it's true, I don't know. So I'm sorry I disturbed you and your mom. I really am. I wish your family the best.
Half an hour or so later, Pia and Chantrea eat dinner.
Evan out of town? He always wants to eat dinner. He's big on dinner.
I've been meaning to tell you. We broke up. Yeah, so, anyway.
You two were together a long time.
Yeah, Mom, I know. People are together a long time and then they're not. Happens to everyone one way or another. Fuck! The garlic bread. I brought it for tonight. Oh, too late now, I guess. Well, that was fucking pointless.
Chantrea gets up to put her plate away. Without looking at her, she reaches out for Pia's shoulder, gives her the touch pat. Pia flinches instinctively. pulling away.
So, I mean, I don't like her, but I think you should talk to her. Siobhan.
You know I already told her no.
So whatever. You can call her and tell her you changed your mind. She'll be in town a few more days.
Why should I talk to her?
I don't know. Because it's good to talk? Because it's good to acknowledge the past and get it out or something? I don't fucking know, Mom. You tell me why you should talk to her. Anyway, there, I asked you. I tried. Whatever, I should go. Have to get back to the lab.
You always have so much you're working on over there.
You know, I don't, actually. I don't have much of anything I'm working on over there. All I do is write grants and proposals. Prepare lectures about experiments teaching mice to fear. There's actually one where they tried to do the opposite. Teach a mouse to feel safe and secure instead. They gave tones and shocks far apart from one another, so the mouse learned that tone never predicted shock. And then they put this mouse in a completely new, unfamiliar environment, which usually throws a mouse into high alert. But then they played the tone, and right away the mouse completely changed. Just strolled into the center of this open field as if it owned the place. It's crazy, right? A mouse that's taught to feel safe. Walking out into uncertainty with no fear. Walking out into the unknown as if you own the place. The last decade I've been doing this, but I'm not doing anything, am I? I haven't helped anything. I'm not going anywhere. I haven't been going anywhere for years. I haven't been going anywhere for years, Mom. Mom, what if you... Can you just talk to her? They said people who've done it, they feel in control of their lives again. Like they feel free. Maybe if you call her, you could...
I told you I don't want to talk to her.
Right. Okay. Gotta head back to the office. Deadlines for other people's projects never end.
Sophia! Not her. You. Sit down. You remember this?
What is... Oh, is that the CD that Darany...
After I heard this, you and Darany playing it here in the kitchen, my nightmares were so bad that night. They were always bad, but that night...
You still have those nightmares, Mom?
Sometimes. They got worse after he left. You know how I got this scar?
You never told us, but we knew it was from something that happened.
An accident on my dad's farm. When I was a little girl. Long before the Khmer Rouge. I was trying to help my dad with a saw that was jammed in a piece of wood. It got unstuck too fast and flew out of his hand. The blade sliced my neck and shoulder. I shouldn't have been standing so close by, almost took my head off. And I thought I was being helpful. Scared my parents to death. Good thing I was bleeding like crazy, or they would have beaten the crap out of me.
So it wasn't from the...
I was always embarrassed by it, by the scar. But it wound up saving me later. We met in Phnom Penh, your dad and me. I moved there when I was 17 to sing.
You used to sing?
There was so much music in the city then. We were playing different clubs every night. The way it felt there, the vibrations, the dancing. We weren't big like some of the others, but we were good. People liked us. There were 4 of us. Atit, the drummer, Heng on bass, and Kosal. He was lead guitar. I was the one who did the interviews. They had a couple music magazines back then. I liked talking to people. I was always talking. You couldn't shut me up. But you know he got stage fright, your dad? He was actually very insecure. He's actually very insecure. I think that's why he's so good. The insecurity is what drives the music, you know? We all have it, something in us that doesn't feel okay, that's a little scared, yeah? And it drives us to do something, you know what I mean? Like, what do you do with all that but turn it into something? Turn it into music. Turn it into love. I can't think of anything better. Can you? Every night we're out here, we're playing, we're dancing, we're here together. Yeah, there's a war going on. Yeah, there are bombs going off across the countryside. That's why we come here. We turn to our music to keep us safe. Give us power, you know? And then when it starts, when we realize what's happening, and then when it stops, when we realize what's happening, the men right away, they cut their hair. They smash their glasses. You have long hair, they'll kill you. You wear glasses, they'll kill you. Kosal cuts his hair too. Smashes his glasses. But they take him anyway. He's too beautiful, like a movie star. He can't hide what he is, and he's no good at pretending. Our son is like that too. I'm good at pretending. I change clothes, wash off my makeup, make my hair look bad. When they come to my room, I say I'm cleaning. I clean houses. I look rugged. I grew up on a farm. I've got this big scar across my neck from an accident with machinery, see? They believe me. I go to the fields with the others. One day I'm working and I see them, Heng and Atit. Their hands are tied behind them. They're being led away. I see them. They see me seeing them. But we hide it, that we know each other. They are led away into some trees and I can't see them anymore. I don't see what happens, but I hear. I hear. I will hear it for the next 40 years. See it in my sleep. That night, I take Darany and I run. Don't know it then, but also pregnant with you, I run. We're in the camp only 7 months. Most people stayed years, but we got lucky. They tell us we're going to somewhere called Lowell, Massachusetts. Place we never heard of before. We get on a plane in January, Darany and me, and 8 months pregnant with you. When we land the middle of the night, I look out the window. I've never known a winter, never seen trees with no leaves. I look out the window and everything is dead. There's no music here, I think. I won't play music ever again. Not like that.
Chantrea and Pia listen to the music together. Then, without looking at her, Chantrea reaches over to Pia's shoulder, gives her the touch pat.
It was always so good to feel you and your brother, you know? Every time I'd be remembering something from back there, and maybe sometimes it'd be hard. I always knew as long as I could reach over and feel you and your brother there, feel you right there with me, everything was okay. Everything is okay.
Darany in a 2002 memory. Or maybe present day.
Before I knew about the creation story and the dancers and shit, those 4,000 hand gestures, I saw us as starting out with massacre, know what I'm saying? Fleeing our homeland and shit. There wasn't anything before that. And then here, beat up and thrown in the trash can. That was my founding story, man.
Ma? Why are you in here with the lights out?
Now, I see something else.
Guess what? I got my math test back today, and Mr. Delgado gave me a... Ma!
Sophia, you're home early. Are you hungry? I'll make you a snack.
Chantrea crosses in front of Pia. Without looking at her, she gives Pia the touch pat.
See if your brother's hungry too.
Pia relaxes into the memory as her mother prepares a snack. Darany and Pia look at each other across the real aching distance.
Talk again soon?
Yeah.
You okay? P?
Yeah. I'm okay.
The silence is broken by the sound of Chantrea, who begins to sing for the first time.
This is LA Theatre Works' production of What You Are Now by Sam Chance, directed by Lyse Erikson. Starring in alphabetical order, Carie Kawa as Pia, Tess Lina as Chantrea, Joan No as Darany, Samantha Quan as Siobhan, Mark Jude Sullivan as Evan, and Greg Watanabe as the narrator. Senior producer Lyse Erikson. Prepared for audio by Mark Holden for the Invisible Studios, West Hollywood. Recording engineer, editor, and mixer, Charles Carroll. Sound design by Charles Carroll and David Wilson. Senior radio producer, Ron Lipkin. Foley artist, Jeff Gardner. The original song, What You Are Now, is by Him Sophie, founder of the Him Sophie School of Music in Phnom Penh. Special thanks to Professor Craig Woodson and Dr. Terry Miller for their recording of The Sorrowful King from rootsofrhythm.net. I'm Susan Loewenberg, producing director of LA Theatre Works.